Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LIVENODING. In this episode, I'm going to show you the latest update of Spreadshop. It's basically viewer draw now supporting multicolor. So Victor Doval have shown some example here with the Node 3. You can try it yourself, but I'm just gonna jump right into it. So I'm gonna delete everything. If you don't know how to upgrade Spreadshop, you can just actually go to Spreadshop under Blender Preferences and check for new version. Just click on this and then update it and then restart Blender. So let's see what we got here. Viewer draw. So we have viewer draw attributes and viewer draw nodes. So this guy, I haven't actually tried this one, but we're gonna take a look at this new viewer draw. It has a lot of options now, not just the normal vertices edges polygon viewer. If we try, for example, just random vector, and this is just a vector, right? So plug this into the vertices. So if we have a bunch of points, as usual, we can randomize the seed. So by default, the vertices is shown as white color. You can change into a different color. That's already normal, but we also have a lot of different options here. Color per point and random vertices color. So this supposedly giving a random vertices color. Maybe I need to change into a different mode. Okay. Apparently we need to also enable this color per point. So that's interesting. So that's the first interesting thing. Yeah, you can also randomize this way. So as a viewer, or you can quickly visualize the random points color. However, just keep in mind that if we actually bake this, the result will not have color unless you are using Vertex Color. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that very quickly. If we are using box, now we're gonna have a preview of vertices edges polygon. Once again, let's increase this. And so if we have, so now we have the preview of the vertices in different color. I can increase the size of the vertices. Okay, and by default the face color is blue, and also the edge color is yellow. You can change the color. With this guy, don't forget, because we have so many options now, we actually can have a preset for the node. Okay, this is the old school presets. Yeah, just if you ever want to quickly go back to normal, you can have it here. I forgot to save the one with random vertices color, and also with the vertex size. On a Mac, I think the edge thickness cannot be changed, so it's always set to 1, unfortunately. But at least we have control over the vertices, and also we can transfer the vertices into the polygon color for the face. Okay, so that should be pretty clear. If you ever want to colorize the vertex color, you need to use the vertex color MK3. So these can transfer the color into the vertices procedurally. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at how to use this once again. Sometimes it could be slightly tricky, but it's not too bad. It lets you understand how to procedurally generate color for each vertices or each polygon face, or also the loop. Okay. Okay, so let's see how to do this. We could have objects with random color first of all, but that's gonna create multiple objects color, and we can use the viewer to colorize it very quickly. So that's pretty easy. So we have 4 boxes. Maybe we want to turn off the vertices color for now. And if you want to give random color into these boxes as a viewer, we can just plug in the color into this guy. So this might require a little bit of trickery. So random color, let's generate random color. Hue saturation value, okay, this needs to be 1. Okay, the last one actually, here, before I forgot, we actually have this fragment color that you can use. You can write using text. I haven't tried this, it's slightly more complex. We're just gonna use either one of these. Okay, so I believe that this is how it works. So you just need to have this turned on, display polygon, and you can plug in multicolor. And this is of course something that you can transfer into vertex color. You can transfer it here for each object that's being generated. So mesh viewer, so this is a box, plug this box there, and then the matrix that we generate using plane, so it goes there. And the objects that's being generated, we want to colorize using vertex color. So I think we can split the color. Let me save this first. Multicolor. PD. Split color over here. For color. Okay. Yeah, so it's basically like this, right? The viewer is showing us the color already. This guy is still doesn't have any color, but we have this SV call, which is we can transfer into the shader for each one of these guys. Create a new material, assign it into our object, and vertex color. We're just gonna use SV call, plug this into the color, and each one of them should have the color that we want. They are overlapping currently, so I'm gonna use matrix math just to drag this to the side. Okay, now we got it. This is viewer draw. This is the actual objects. So if we have, for example, 5 by 5, we have 25 cube. We can have it with different color. Let's make it 25 color, randomize the seed. There we go. So this list split is needed for Vertex Color MK3 because we have 25 objects, 25 different color. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's interesting. I mean, slightly complicated, but it's you're gonna learn about the color and computations and how the color is being applied, whether it is applied to the vertices or face or object. If I change this to the loop, okay, in this case, because we are splitting the color there, so this doesn't work. So this one, this can be rendered, while this one just a preview using viewer draw. If we bake it, of course, we're gonna have 25 objects without color. So just keep that in mind. It's good for preview, for quick preview, especially for point or points cloud, for example. So you could, in theory, I think you can use this viewer draw to display the color of points, potentially point clouds. I haven't tried it, but it's possible. Maybe via the Fragment Shader. There is an add-on actually to deal with point cloud if you ever gonna need that. What else I haven't talked about? This guy. Okay, this you can have random color for each vertices. Or you can use like a rainbow kind of color. So let's say, so I'm gonna save this example. I'm gonna create another one. This time I'm gonna use maybe just use the cricket and viewer draw, and I will paint this cricket using color that's coming from the vertices. So I'm gonna use the vertices to colorize our points, for example, or the face. So let's say for using the Y coordinate, we're gonna colorize the red. Might need to use remap. So I believe it's already working, as the y-axis goes from here to there, and we can turn on the list limit. So we have like a gradient. I can use these to HSV, and we should have be like a rainbowish color. Because I'm plugging it into the polygon face, I should plug this into the vertices. Hue saturation value, minimum, maximum. Or I forgot to turn on something. Fragment shader always give the color that coming from the normal, I believe, by default. If I'm using box and use the vertex of the box, subdivide the box, I'm expecting to see the gradient. So 0 to 1 RGB Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot to turn this on. Okay, so go back to our Cricut. Cricut only have vertices and faces, no edges data, but you can use the Cricut vector to colorize this Cricut based on the X, Y, or Z axis. So we can have like a spectrum rainbow color. There's probably like a limitations on the vertex color, or so the edges can be like, you can see there's a rainbow color on the edges. So that's the vertices shown in different color. Oh yeah, I think it works the best as a vertex color. For polygon, you need to consider different things. Okay. So apparently this polygon vertex color colorize polygons with vertices color. Okay, so this takes the color from the vertices. So now this reduces the complexity, and this is what I want to show you from the beginning, basically. So we are using now the vertices color in the Y axis directions to colorize this as a rainbow Cricut. You can use the X and the Z, and this is really something that's really common to happen if you are using shader, cycle shader, or EV shader, nodes, procedural. This is just simplified, I think, simplified version. So instead of working on the shader level, this actually works on the point, vertex point level. Okay, so glad this is working. Lots of interesting hiccup, but works. Eventually it works. So that's a good thing. So this can be like the base study to get you started to understand the vector and how it can be translated into color, and how you can colorize the viewer draw this way. Again, if you bake it, you get nothing, right? You need to use vertex color. Should I do it again? Maybe I should. Vertex color MK3. So this color should be passed into the object color, and the shader should be using the vertex color that's coming from SketchUp. This is the okay. This is the one that's baked. This one is vertex color. This one, the one with vertex color. There you go. This color is coming from SketchUp. There. Now this is like, because this is a vertex color, we can now render this out. So if we render this, the cool thing about a SketchUp viewer is that this actually can be rendered using Blender EV as a cycles as well, still showing up. Interesting. So you actually can render it out just using viewer draw. But if you ever want to bake and export as real 3D mesh, you need to use the mesh viewer and vertex color. Okay, and you can make it maybe make it glowing. So instead of plugging it into the base color, we can plug this into the emissions. And if it's emissions and you want it to bloom, you need to maybe mix the RGB. Normally you want to increase the value. So in this case, increase the value here. And you should get the glow. And if you want to make variations, maybe you can also add noise. So you can randomize the color this way. You can also animate the color. So a lot of lots of potentials. It's not the easiest, but at least you can quickly visualize the data very quickly. The advantage of using something like Vertex nodes instead of shader. If you are using shader, of course, you can also use geometry, position, normal, tangent, and separate the color and then type it into the color. Both has a advantage, but with the Vertex one, you can actually visualize the number or the data this way. Okay, so what's the color we are getting? We know for each vertices we can check it out here, and also with this vertex viewer we can hide the polygon face. Okay, so that's, I think, much clearer. Alright, so there you go. Hopefully you find this interesting, useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.